Hello everybody, I'm Renzo Mox, and welcome back to another LEGO Star Wars Buildable Figure set review. Today we're taking a look at the last of the first wave of Rogue One sets. Today we're taking a look at K2SO. So, without any more wasting of the time, let's get right into the review. So before we actually begin the review, I just want to say a few things about this character. In total, Star Wars has released about 3 custom sets. And what I mean by custom is sets that kind of take their own body build and do what they want, you know? It's not like sets that have been previously. The last 2 sets I looked at have very similar builds, even though on the inside they were both pretty different. But with their legs and their arms, they were both incredibly similar. With this character and Grievous and Darth Vader, they all kind of have a unique custom build. And that's why I am so happy to own this set. K2SO is a really good set, but I'm not going to preach, let's just get into the review. So first of all, he does have, this custom build, as you can see. The entire body is custom, which is awesome. There's no body pieces used in here. The only body piece would be this piece right here. Well, I don't know why that is really bright, but this piece, which is used for the gearboxes, which I think looks okay. I personally would have slapped a 3 long armor on right here, which is what I do. So, yeah, but as is, I think it looks meh. Random ball joint for no reason. I'll get into this in a bit. You guys probably already know what it is. But anyways, he just looks really overall imposing. He's very tall. And I'm not going to do a size comparison. Actually, yeah, I will. Never mind. Cross that out. I'll be doing a size comparison with Jin later in the video. But you can just see how tall this guy really is. Like, going down to the bottom, you can see he uses the longest bone piece there just for his upper legs. Unfortunately, that's kind of where the first con comes in, because you can see the bottom of these, and it looks kind of lazy, in my opinion. So, yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't look right. But, as obviously he has standard articulation, even his arms, which are weirdly built, still have the exact same amount. His hand can still move, his arm can still move, And then even his legs, as long as they are, still have standard amount of posability. Actually, the posability for his legs are a little different, because the way the ball joint, you can't just you can't just lift it. It'll end up moving to the side. See? So yeah, it ends up moving to the side. So his leg can never be bent up front. It's like that. It's always going to be like this, which I would say that's a con, but it doesn't look that bad, to be honest, especially from the side. So yeah. But as you can see, for the lower limbs of the arms, and including the legs, he goes for a custom build. So we end up getting these really long, sort of custom Technic build there, which is pretty simple. I mean, it wouldn't have been different if you just took a bone, which I'm not sure if there's actually a bone that length. I believe there is. It wouldn't have been hard to get a bone like that. But one thing I also want to mention about this character is he has a lot of black axles, which is why that makes him a pretty good parts pack. Like, just looking all over him, you can see his legs. Those are all black axles. You can see his arms. Black axles. There are red axles in here, too, which I actually have no idea why. Like, you already have enough black axles. Why do you have to resort to red? But as you can see, there are a couple in the arms. But you don't see those, like, barely, unless you look there. There is a blue right there, which is kind of distracting, but, I mean, you're mostly going to be looking from the front of the figure. And even then, there is a little blue on the sticker right here, so I wouldn't even call it that bad. I think it kind of works. Like, it could be another light or something. Now, obviously, you can see his arms fidgeting. Before that, I just want to mention, the custom build of K2SO is really, really good. Like, aside from the lower limbs, you can say what you want about them, but the body build is really well done. It just looks really cool. Doesn't look super accurate to the movie, I'll say that right now, but, which again, I have not seen. But, overall, I think it looks like a really, really good body build. It's not too gappy either. It's pretty filled out in most places. aside from this kind of hunchback thing going on here where it just kind of clamps in, which kind of looks weird, but they already did a really good job on this, so yeah. And also that is a recolored protector armor piece from Bionicle, and I thought it would look out of place, but it looks really good. It does a good job at blending in there. So yeah. Okay, let's get on to this guy's feet. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention, he does come with printed armor pieces. I believe... Wow. I'm bad with Star Wars knowledge. I believe this is the Empire's logo. Someone's gonna kill me for saying that. I'm really bad with Star Wars. I'm sorry, guys. If that's not the Empire logo, then I do apologize. But I just want to take off this head and show you. There's so much detail in this thing. Like, look in there. That's incredible. Even in there. There's like a little chip there. This entire head is fantastically molded. It almost looks completely different it's completely different because the figure is so smooth. And then you have that head, which just looks almost not terrifying, but it looks creepy. You also do have a couple antennae on the back, so that's alright. This one kind of moves around, but oh well. Okay, let's get into this guy's main feature, which is shamelessly ripped off from Bionicle. So basically, if you've owned the set Skull Bet, why is that so bright? Turn that down, please. If you've wow, my English. If you own the set Skull Basher, then you know this function. Basically, there's a button here, and you push that, and his arms will clamp. Not so well, that's just because of how the arms are oriented. I'm going to move his arms like this. There we go. There's a little bit of a better... Or you can swing them side to side, which I think Lego actually wanted the function to be this time around. Kind of make him dance a little bit. He's like, yarg, har. It's weird. I guess it makes sense. I mean, he's a droid who punches things, I guess. But it just looks kind of silly in the end. It's kind of like ripping off an already existing function, which I don't mind as long as it's done well. And this one's just kind of, it's just kind of ripping off the sake. Like, at least Basher had a function that, he could, like, bash his axes together. But this guy can't do anything. He doesn't come with any weapons. So yeah, it was it was cool to see the feature again, but it just doesn't really work that well for the figure. Overall, I do like this figure, but let's get on to the size comparison now. So here is K2SO next up to K2SO, and you can see he is much larger, and his legs are just a little bit bent. If I were to stand him up like completely tall, he'd be larger. He's a very tall figure. I was going to actually bring in my Wanderer mock just to compare them to, because the Wanderer was based off of, at least the new version of the Wanderer was based off of K2SO's design, but that's besides the point. Anyways, so yeah, very tall figure. I don't think he's this size in the movie. I don't believe. I think he's just a little taller than Jin. I could be wrong, though. I'll have to go check it out. When the movie eventually comes out, I'll check it out. I'll be like, oh, that was wrong, and laugh at myself. But yeah, just a basic size comparison. Nothing too special. So I really don't have that many complaints with this figure. I really like him. I think his build is, especially... Guys, I love Technic builds. I love super complex builds. I wouldn't say this build is super complex, but it is complex. It's no Bionicle 2015 build. It's definitely a lot more involved than a lot of things we've gotten. But overall, I like the look of this character. He's got the very large kind of Reaper look. Like, he's very tall. That's kind of why I based the previous design of the Wanderer after him, because he's just very tall, and if he wasn't a robot, he'd be pretty creepy. Yeah, but everything from the head mold to most of the things. The arms are a little long, I feel. I think you could have taken that silver bit out, and it would have been fine. That would have been a lot better. Although I understand with the parts, you really can't do that. I don't know. They'd find a way. They're Lego. The arms are not the arms. The legs are really long, especially the upper legs, and they end up looking kind of awkward sometimes. So I'd say the legs are kind of the biggest drawback to this set. But, overall, I really do like this set, and I recommend you pick it up. He's a little on the pricey side. He was $30 Canadian. which I understand is a lot cheaper in American. But if you're Canadian and you don't want to spend $30 on this, then I won't blame you, but you're definitely getting what you want, you know? You're definitely getting everything you see here. There's a lot of parts, so even if you're not going to get this for, keeping together or keeping on the shelf, you can at least buy this for parts because it has a lot of useful parts. So, I want to thank you all so much for watching. This is the last review of the first wave of Rogue One sets. Next up, we're going to be reviewing Chirrut M-Way, and then followed by the Scarif Trooper, and then finally Baze Malbus. So I hope to see you again in another video. Goodbye.